What is up, boyos? It's Water Buffalo Man. We're back for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle. Alright, so we're going to be taking the Super Saiyan 4 BARDOCK in, but we're not going to be taking on the baby event. I think that event is slightly too difficult for this unit, so we're probably going to be stepping back to the Lud stage. There's a reason why. I'll break that down here in 1 second. Let me go over his passive, and you'll really understand why I don't think he's good enough to take that stage on. There are no Dragon Ball Heroes units out, so it's not a huge deal, so we're going to have to run this team as is with a 200% Time Traveler's lead. So, he is a crossover 150, key 3, raises attack and defense on his super, and seals enemy super attack. Stats are pretty decent. Mine's only 55%, so this is only a 55% showcase. It's not a 100% showcase, so I apologize for that. So he may not be as great as some of you may have from just my showcase alone. So his passive is as follows. Trials in Another World. Attack and defense 200%, plus an additional attack and defense of 100 when there are 2 or more crossover category allies on the team. Plus an additional, well, this right here is where I don't think he's good yet because he's restricted to HP. And on some of the newer events, you're not going to maintain above that 50 really all the time unless if you're constantly healing. So his second half is plus an additional 100 to stats when HP is 50% or more, attacks effective against all types when HP is 70 or more, and performs a crit when HP is 90% or more. And then has a medium chance of evading enemies' super attack and attack when there's a Giant Ape Power category ally in the same turn. He is Link level 10 though, so generally I built him with 5/5 and then the built-in dodge in his passive, so I really didn't add anything. I may change that depending on what we really get around the Super Dragon Ball Heroes. So let's just jump right in with the team we have. His best linking partner is the Gohan, which you guys know from the previous video. So we're going to try to keep that situation the same. We are going to have the Trunks load-in menu thing, so here that is. Alright, so here's going to be where the problem lies. BARDOCK. He needs Gohan. He legitimately needs the Gohan to link. He doesn't link terrible with this Goku, but we want to keep this Goku on so this BARDOCK gets a really good support this rotation, so let's give him those. Give him those, and then let's take a look at his stats. So 729,000 attack and 240k defense. So again, key here. If we had gotten hit by an AoE and then we had switched over to this turn, we were below 50% HP, he would have lost 100% of that HP attack and defense. So he would have been drastically lower. So again, relying on the HP, but let's just see what he does with what we have here. Okay, so he hits 4.12, which is not terrible. We do have also, mind you, we do have the 40% support on with the Goku's family Goku. So that is a big factor into why his defense and attack are so high right there. And by so high, I don't mean like, oh my, it's through the roof high. It's just, it's why it's where it's at right now. It's because of the fact that we have that Goku on rotation. Alright, so again, my goal on these showcases is never to completely defeat the event, whether we win, lose, whatever happens. It's just to try to show the main unit in their best case scenario. So, triple super from the Trunks, so he has his 30% damage reduction built in, and he just raises defense 3 times for this turn. Once for this turn, oh no, all 3 times for this turn. Alright, so we have the dual Super Saiyan 4s. So we're just going to go like this. They link almost perfect together. So we're going to keep them like that. And we got the Pan who gives 40% to stats. So perfect. Let the Vegeta do a couple supers. He'll build up his attack and defense, which will be just fine. Alright, let's see here. Boom. Vegeta's going to do a guaranteed double super, which is good. I like the fact that the Vegeta does a double super. A lot of people have said these guys are frauds. I hate that term. I can't stand the term when you players use the term fraud. It makes no sense. Fraud or mid, nobody in the Dokkan community knows actually what those terms mean, and you guys just use them as blanket terms to encapsulate everything, which is just a joke at this point. But it's whatever. Okay, we got through the rotation, that's perfect. We're on to the final stage now, it's the STR stage. And we do have the ideal rotation on here. So we have the Gohan and the BARDOCK, which are the 2 best linking partners for one another, and we have the Goku as well, so the support. So we're going to keep the BARDOCK in slot 2, because I don't think he could take the hit if he got supered. I think it'd be GG's already. So we're going to utilize Gohan's damage reduction to protect him a little bit. And let's see what his stats are. So this is, like I said, this is Bardock's best rotation at 55%. His stats may be a little higher at 100% because you got to think he's going to have, I don't have 100% strength unit on the team, but his stats are going to be a little bit higher than what we're looking at. It'll probably be close to like 350 for defense, but he doesn't have damage reduction. He doesn't have any type of guard like that. All he has is that medium chance to dodge, which I think is 30%. So that may not be the greatest thing for him. But again, also, mind you, we do have the 40% support from the Goku on rotation here. I want to keep emphasizing that these stats are with a 40% support. Again, he does raise attack and defense on his super, so maybe it'll be a little better. I don't know. Let's see. We could possibly lose at the end of rotation anyway because the Super Saiyan Goku is a type weakness. Okay, so he lowered his defense. Let's see what Bardock can hit here. You need to hit like 5+. 5.1. Okay, that's not terrible necessarily, but I mean, having as low a defense as he has with a support unit on and no damage reduction or even a guard to protect you, that's pretty bad, to be honest. We're gonna go you there, I probably messed that up, and then you there. Hopefully we can get back around. If we can't, we can't. We'll see. I'd like to see the Bardock one more time with the pan support on and see how well. I mean, that won't really make much of a difference, but I'd like to see him. I'm going to put him in slot 1 this time and see how he does pre-supering. Because we should make it that far. I don't know why we wouldn't. I mean, unless if we get KO'd, but these guys aren't. The Vegeta and the Goku aren't going to do enough damage. The only one that might finish his blood off would be Trunks. But I kind of don't know if I even see that happening. It'll be close. It'll be close. We'll see. He's still got 3, almost 4 health bars. And this Trunks is only pushing a 200% leader skill right now, or like 230, because he gets the partial time travelers left. So, maybe. Don't finish him off. I mean, if he does, he does. We're not going to really see much difference out of the Bardock other than he's going to do... He's just going to attack first. His stats aren't going to change. I just kind of was hoping we'd be able to see him get supered or something in slot 1. Okay, perfect. We are going to get the Bardock to come back around. So let's put Bardock in slot 1. Okay, we're not going to get to see him attack. Get attacked before he attacks, but we do have the pan on rotation. So, again, the Bardock sitting about 260. Same as the Gohan, but that's where the Gohan having that damage reduction really does help. Again, 40% support, so don't forget that's there. They're not bad. These two units together are not bad, but I feel like the Gohan is drastically better than the Bardock. 5 mil attack stat again. Again, also, mine's 55%. Super please. Nope. Okay, 5.5. My Gohan is 100%, so that's a big difference between my Gohan versus the Bardock. But the Bardock, in my opinion, is pretty decent. Do I consider him a viable top 10 or top 5 or whatever, like I said in the last video on the Gohan? No, I don't even consider them close in terms of capabilities. Because, like I said prior, he has no guard, has no damage reduction, and his passive is very reliant on being above HP thresholds. So for him to be effective against all types, it needs to be above 70. For him to get a guaranteed crit, it needs to be above 90. For him to get that additional 100%, which keeps him above 200% defense at 55%, he needs to be above 50% HP. So if he got hit with a Zamasu AoE, or if the team got hit with Zamasu AoE the turn prior and we went below the 50% threshold and then this man comes out, half of his passive is completely gone. Completely wiped away. And then you need, what, 1 crossover unit to evade? No. You need a Giant 8 power. If for some odd reason the first rotation he doesn't have a Giant 8 power on his team, he can't dodge at all. His dodge is completely gone. So if that second turn comes around, the first turn you're below 50% HP, and there's not a Giant 8 power, he doesn't have half of his passive, and he can't dodge. So all he has is possibly the 200% and the 100% if there's 2 or more crossovers, which generally you're going to run him on a crossover or Dragon Ball Heroes team. So you probably have that 300 to stats, and that's about it if you're below 50% HP. The Gohan, again, like I said, has the damage reduction for Giant 8 power, which, again, he is very reliant on category, but not necessarily HP thresholds. He does get an additional 50% when supering, and he gets an additional 100 when there's a crossover category ally. But I would still dare to say the Bardock is pretty decent. I gave the Gohan about a 7.5, 8 at this moment in time. I'm going to give the Bardock like a 6. maybe a 5. 5.5, 6 probably be the best, but I'd give him a 6. He could use a really good EZA as well. A solid EZA could make him easily a top 10. Do I deem him as a top 5? No. He would need to change a lot of his passive to remove the HP thresholds, and then I could see him being a lot better. But other than that, I could see him being a top 10 Dragon Ball Heroes unit, only with those thresholds removed. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. See you guys then.